Hola Mariana, buenos días. Oh, sí, ve tranquila. Morning, Samara. We missed you yesterday. Your absence is very noticeable. Oh, gracias Mariana. Tú también, que la pases muy lindo. De Nochevieja y también feliz Navidad. Oh, thank you Mariana. Oh, it's okay. Can you believe it, guys? It's Christmas already? It's it's crazy. It's crazy. We went through a lot. How long has it been since I started doing the lives? A year? It seems like it had been longer. A year. Yes, I know. I think I started at the the end of February or the beginning of March. Um, but it definitely feels like it's been longer. But I'm really happy I started it because actually I was a bit awkward about it. Like I was like, how do I do this? Yesterday we were talking about this, Samara, that sometimes idols do be lives, and they some of them like do it with other members. Some of them do this kind of mukbang, and actually, to do a V live or to do a live stream, you have to. It's not just to read questions and that's it. Also it's not about entertaining. I think that also it has to do with you being able to communicate and to bring new subjects of communication, like to talk about something interesting. And it had happened to me that I had watched a few B lives, and I wasn't entertained at all. Like, I was like, okay, it was great to see you, but like, I'm not entertained, or maybe some of them are not very good at like building a conversation. The only thing that they do is just read the comments, and people of course praising them and telling them, oh, you're beautiful, like, will you marry me, and all those things, and I think that in my case what I do, the ones P lives that I do watch, it's from people that actually, it's not about being intelligent, it's about being able to carry a conversation, like them talking about their hobbies, and but to keep the conversation going, because if it's just you in front of the camera looking at the phone reading live, I don't I don't like it, or at least do a mukbang, so I can get entertained watching you eat or something. But there are a lot of like V-Lives that actually are not that entertaining, in my opinion. But it would be like, for example, in our case, if we would be gathering. Oh yes, yes, sure. Uh, if we would be gathering here only, talking bad or negatively about, the K-pop business, and actually not coming to a conclusion whatsoever about how that impact us, why do we talk about it? Like there's this sense, at least in my case, I feel the need to build a communication, a proper communication with you guys. That's why I always read you, and we always end up talking about things about among ourselves, because actually, since this is a place for ourselves, we choose the subject that we want to talk about, and sometimes we do have very interesting conversations. The other day I was watching a no live, and I was like, wow, how did we get here? We started talking about something random, and then that became a whole conversation. So I think that I am very proud of that, because like, for you also to have a voice and an opinion, I think that I'm very proud of that. That you're also very very respectful towards each other. That's also something that I'm very very proud. That's something that actually, when you are in my position, you do not have like actually the control over how people are going to get along, and if they're going to get along, or if they're how the comments are going to be, and how the the flow of the interaction is going to be like. But in this case, you had built a very solid base of respect, and I think that that's very admirable. Like it's amazing. So who did we do for the stream yesterday? It was EXO. It was Venus in the Signs for EXO, and I done mostly all of them. I only got left Lay, and Chen, they are the ones left. Because actually we were caught up in another conversation and about placements, and like it was like 2 hours and we couldn't finish. So the placement combo strikes again. Yeah, it's very distracting. Actually, it's very distracting. It's just that I think that um, when you talk about the placement, there's a lot of people that feel identified, so it's okay to share your experience or your own points of view of, you know, how you feel about that placement, or if you notice something different in them, or if it doesn't apply to you or according to you. So, yes, astrology is very diverse in that sense. It can have multiple meanings. And since we here are talking about idols, you know, sometimes not the whole information is not, you know, you don't know what to trust. You know, you can find actually anything on the internet and not be sure if it's the correct, like, it's the proper, I don't know, day, hour, you know. So, yes. I'm waiting for this to be 15 minutes and then I'm going to start talking about. First, I'm going to start with Lei. Um, I don't know his Chinese name, I only know him as Lei. Um, and he has a whole, I believe he's a whole stellium in Libra because he's Sun, Moon, and Venus in Libra. So definitely a lot of Libra. He is the personification, I guess, of the Libra energy. Of course, that it depends on in what house it is, but I think that yes, there's something about Lei that actually I think that he's someone that he's very much in control of his emotions, or you know, when you have a lot of Libra placements, it gives you this ability to somehow go through life and just start connections with people, you know. And sometimes this is something about the Libra nature or the Libra people, that they tend to confuse people because they can be so pleasant, so flirty, so seductive, so welcoming, you know, that a lot of people get like the wrong impression, you know, like, are you hitting on me? Like, are you in love with me? Like, what are you doing, like, and actually a Libra person, or if it's someone with a very strong Libra placement, actually they do it because it's part of their personality. It's part of who they are. They come here to give love, and to express that Venusian aspect, and also to be a bit like shameless about it. There's something about when a Libra hits on you, and or when when a Libra is being like seductive towards you, they don't care where you are. Like, they will do it, and this actually does, especially if they are engaged or if they are taken already, is that it does put them in situations where they confuse people, and they are like, oh, like, are you into me, or are you playing, and actually, this is something that I always advise Libra people to stay away from obsessive people, because you can be funny and flirty and outgoing, but if you meet someone that is very fixated, someone that is obsessive, they can fall for you, and they can really, like, mark your words and be like, oh, but you told me that I was beautiful, so you know what are you going to do with that? You made me feel something. You made me believe the words that you said. And actually, probably that's a Libra just being a Libra. They don't have any intentions behind that. I get this question a lot when always a client asks me about a certain someone that they don't know how that person feels about them, and they all of a sudden reveal that the person they're talking about is a Libra. And I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. You just got like, you know, like seduced by a Libra, and you are like going crazy trying to understand what their motive is, why they're hitting on you, or why they are paying attention to you, if they don't want nothing, or if they are already taken, or if they, I don't know. But for them, to be seductive, or to be flirtatious, or to be romantic, is like breathing. They do it naturally. The art of seduction, it's very natural for them. And actually, it's part of, yes. Oh, again, this mod. I don't know why we always have this mode. Last night, it was awful. Yeah, it's part of their nature, and actually it does bring a lot of, like, sometimes a lot of chaos for people, because it's like, I don't know. For example, have you ever watched? This is a very old movie, but it's called Fatal Attraction. That, it's sort of like this. Like a Libra can start something like a fling with someone, and then if that person is very obsessed, they can get really dangerous. So I would always watch out who you are being, flirty with. Um, so I think that, but he also has a Virgo in Mars. So definitely, I think that probably for Lane, yes, probably he uses his charms to somehow give form to his life, or to his lifestyle, and this is why probably he's an artist, because the Libra attributes allow him to use this as a tool to create art, to somehow like express that Venusian in him, and also to give a sense of identity to him, because he does have a strong concentration of Libra. But also with his Virgo Mars, like, I would say, I don't know why I get these placements. I feel them very. very cold. You know, there's a lot of air, there's a lot of, there's earth also, but there's not much water. So I think that for him, relationships or what he finds attractive or his romance, it's more about him also building a romance with himself, or him actually like embracing love and attraction within his own persona, you know, and also deciding to not just like use these Venusian attributes to be in a relationship, but to use it like something universal, you know, like I can share this with everyone. This is why I think that probably for him to become an artist and to become an artist that is appealing, that it's attractive, that is magnetic, that it's beautiful. Hello. Um, I think that for him it's much more important because Libra is always about others, you know, but there are some Libras that they tend to polarize in the like in the Aries kind of like energy. Like there are a lot of Libras actually that do remind me of Aries energy. And I think that probably there's something about Lay. I think that I don't know why doesn't have anything to do with his placements, but I every time I read for Lake, there's this sense of seriousness, you know, like that that definitely he's not going to put his charms to waste. You know, I think that he wants to work his charms for a for a bigger purpose. You know, there's something about him like being very passionate about helping others or about creating something bigger. And I think that this also has to do probably with him being a bit like selfish and connecting a bit with his opposite sign and learning a bit more of Aries, you know, like not so much like, oh, I'm looking like for a connection or I'm looking for a partner or a potential partner to help me become famous or help me become, or not just a partner, but it could be also be part of a group, you know, like, oh, I need to be associated with these people so I can make it as well. You know, I think that there's something about Lay learning to be by himself, you know, that somehow, you know, someone with all this, because it seems like he already has integrated in himself the Libra nature. So he knows what it feels like to be a Libra. But I think that he wants to give it a different turn. He wants to turn his energy, and probably this is also the way he had experienced life. You know, all the things that he had seen, all the things that he had, because he's someone that he deeply learns from others. So probably, you know, there were associations or there were moments in his life where he was left alone. And this is something that also Libra people, Libra placements, Libra Venus, like they actually would do anything to not to just be with someone, to not be left alone. They fear loneliness. They fear to be alone in the sense of, oh, I don't have a partner, or I'm not married, or I'm not, I'm, and somehow life, for some Libra people, they take away all this. It seems like they are being left alone on purpose so they can resurface, so they can also understand that yes, relationships, connections, correspondency, uh, to be someone worthy of love and admiration, it's something very needed. You definitely do need the eyes of others to somehow like have like a feedback of like, am I doing okay? Like what I'm doing is worth it? Is it worth it? But I think that probably for Lay, it's a very lonely road. You know, it's a very lonely road. And also with this Mars in Virgo, of his, if you add this Libra Venus with this Virgo Mars, I would say that probably relationships for him are a bit like for him it's not easy to find the one. Probably he has high standards also of what he considers that is the one. And probably also he's not very emotional, so he doesn't know. He knows how to flirt, he knows how to seduce people. But at the end of really, like, let's make a move to start a connection, a real connection, probably he is a bit awkward, or he is a bit like, I'm not sure if this person is for me, like trying to be a bit picky and trying to find like the reasons why he wouldn't go for that person, being a bit evasive, a bit hesitant. Um, the Virgo placements, they do make the person being feeling a bit nervous, a bit uncomfortable with especially with things that has to do with emotions. So probably yes, he does want a partner. He's very romantic, but his Virgo Mars somehow makes him a bit like a tough guy, like someone that is not easy to access, that it's not easy to get to know him for real. He probably like hides himself behind work a lot. He tends to be that kind of person that is always busy, that he's always so proper, so well behaved, like a gentleman, like someone that has like high standards. So inside probably he's a goofy, he's a very like a real person, he's actually very funny. But I think that in his life there's something about lace nature that whenever I read for him, I have this sort of like perception of him being let down a lot of times. So probably for him to trust is not easy. To I think that he is focused on rebuilding himself first, and probably relationships will come later. Actually, like I'm not saying probably he is a very successful and handsome guy. Like I'm not saying that he will always like, or he is single, or that he had been single, or that he will always be single. But I think that this Virgo Mars probably is going to, yeah, picky, a bit picky, yes. Mars in Virgo person, it's a bit like, you know, a bit specific about things that they don't like. So probably they focus so much in things that don't like, instead of actually like focusing on, oh, this is the positive side. Um, and actually, this is coming from, it's like a sort of defense mechanism, because it's like, okay, I crave intimacy, but I don't, when I have to do it, when I have to make a move, I don't know if I want to. I think that the other person is not what I want. I'm not sure. Like, yeah, he would probably need the other person to actually make a move, or actually to be a bit more like patient with him. This again. I don't know why this bot keeps coming all the time.